Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Planet Lizzdom. We had some technical difficulties there for just a hot minute, but you know what? We're back on board. I want to thank you guys for joining me tonight. I'm just doing a little bit of background work here to get us going because I really wanted to play my guest music a little bit for you before I brought him on. I gotta say, he is my new favorite post-punk synth-pop artist. Without a doubt, hands down, from the moment I heard his music when he was sitting in my living room scouting our place for a video shoot, I immediately fell on my butt. I gotta say, if Ian Curtis and Nick Cave became a super being, their voice would sound like his. If Joy Division and Cabaret Voltaire had a baby, their musical love child would probably sound like this as well. So guys, without further ado, I give you Theo Vandenhoff. Hi Theo, how are you?
Wow, yeah, what an introduction. Thank you. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm so happy to see you tonight. We were joking about this a little bit flippantly before the show, but technology, man, even as an artist working with it, doesn't it drive you crazy sometimes?
Drives me insane. Yeah, if I had more time to prepare for this, I just came straight from work to do this. I've been having a crazy day, so
Oh man.
yeah. I hope it. I think it all looks good now. So
It sounds great. And it's
Great.
funny, working in a music store, you work at Sonic Boom Records, I'm sure you see it all.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've learned so much since working there. Probably my knowledge for music has grown tenfold. I don't I still keep to the things that I love and the things that I've loved since I was young. Like I was brought up on that 80s synth pop and post punk stuff. Like my dad's favorite band was OMD, which is now my favorite band, and then I adopted some of that taste through my own interest.
I love it.
But
Theo, you got to give me 1 second. Someone is at my door. This is that kind of day. Please keep telling everybody about your musical background and interests. I'm going to be 30 seconds.
what a day! Yeah, yeah. I grew up with my father just playing that sort of music for me all the time. His favorite band was OMD. I learned about New Order and Joy Division through him, and I've since expanded on those tastes on my own. And working at a record store has definitely every single day I'm exposed to so much new music, and I've gained an appreciation for so many different genres of music through that are now affecting the way that I make music, whether that be learning more about music from other parts of the world, or learning more about even bands within the sphere of the 80s music that I love that I'd never heard of before. So, yeah.
No, that's awesome. I'm so sorry. That was a canvasser for Marita Styles for the NDP. I truly thought I'd left the door unlocked for my boyfriend, but apparently, even on election day, there's still canvassers out there.
Isn't it a bit late now? You only got an hour left to vote.
Well, I have to give her credit for
Yeah.
what's the word, pluckiness, drive.
Yeah, she's a keener, yeah.
Now, with your musical style, I mean, it is so apparent to me because I am a huge lover of music, musician, artist, whatever, that your style and your sound is incredibly informed.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm definitely someone who wears my influences on my sleeve, and I definitely make music from the standpoint of someone who's a huge music nerd. That I try to pop as many as many of my influences into a song as I possibly can, while trying to make it my own at the same time, and not necessarily trying to make something that's a replica of those bands that I love, or like a throwback to that era of music, but applying more of a contemporary songwriting approach to that, and sort of forming my own sound out of it and pushing that sound forward.
Well, and I have to say, you really have made it your own. I was born in the 70s, I grew up in the 80s, and I grew up with a lot of synth pop. My brother is 7 years older than me, and he really kind of introduced me to New Order, Joy Division, well, Joy Division first, then New Order, you know,
Yeah.
Cabaret Voltaire, Current 93, the
Hmm.
list goes on from there. Um, I have to say, your voice really surprised me. I did not realize that you had that range because I'm listening to you and your voice is, I guess, in a mid range, but then when you're singing, it goes really low, you know?
Yeah. No, for sure. I think it surprises a lot of people when I show them my music. They're like, a lot of the time I get the reaction of like, is that you singing? Or and I've never really had a low speaking voice, but I think it's just the influences of all. It's just the influences of all the vocalists that I've learned to admire, like whether that be Nick Cave or Ian Curtis or Brian Ferry. I love like the really melodramatic crooner kind of thing. Like Scott Walker's a huge
Oh, yeah.
influence on the way that I sing. I adore Scott Walker. He's one of my favorite artists of all time. And yeah, and it took a while to get there, but now that's the range that it's comfortable for me to sing in, and it's really just like how I hear the melodies that I write as well. When I'm writing a song, like what's the vision that I have for it, and I don't always go into that lower register, but and sometimes I like to use I like to jump around a lot, but I think I like to have that at my disposal because that's where so much of the music that I love comes from.
Absolutely. I can definitely hear in your creative process that there is, a lot of respect for that sound and for the people who really kind of helped create it. You know, oh, I just forgot my question. It was a good question. I'll ask a different question until I remember it.
All right.
Uh, when you were, finding your sound, and we're always finding our sounds, we're always finding our look, our whatever our creative niches and inspirations. But were there any particular songs that you tried to emulate to kind of find your voice?
Yeah, I think for sure, a lot of the music that I was writing when I first started writing music in the style that I do, um, when I first started using like synthesizers in the songs that I was writing, which was like late high school. I was probably like 17. Um, I was trying to emulate a lot of. I was basically trying to write New Order songs, and that's where Heartache is an Empty Room, like that sort of melodic bass line played really high up is like just me studying Peter Hook's style of playing bass, where he plays really high up and he has that resonant string that he just hits that open string and then plays the melody on the higher string. That's a lot of where that comes from. But I've really I don't want to stop wearing my influences on my sleeve, but I think coming into myself as a songwriter and an artist is I've really been trying to break away from trying to replicate a specific song or a specific sound, and just and I've been trying to listen to different kinds of music. Like my girlfriend is really into psych rock, and she's sort of introduced me to that world, and then I've been getting into sort of a lot more like Middle Eastern music and African music over the past while, and trying to implement those um, influences into what I'm writing to give myself more of a challenge and break out of that comfort zone. Because the last thing that ironically, the last thing that I'd want to become in the long run is someone who's seen as just like a throwback artist, which
Yes.
I think it's easy to do. Like, I don't know if you know the band Black Marble. They're like a modern sort of cold wave synth pop group. I saw them make a tweet once, and it made a really good point that a lot nobody ever calls a band that's like 4 people, drummer, bassist, guitarist. Nobody ever calls a band like that like a 60s throwback group. But as soon as you start writing music with synthesizers, you're an 80s throwback group, you know?
Ouch!
Yeah. But it's a fair point, you know? I think we have to look past the sonic aesthetics and look at the songwriting and recognize that there are, for a lot of stuff, there's a lot of other influences that go into people who are making synth pop music in the modern age, rather than just trying to replicate a sound that's already happened. Unless there are artists who do that and just replicate a sound that's already happened, but a lot of people are just trying to push the agenda with that sonic aesthetic and push it into new songwriting territory and apply it to where we are now in this age.
Well, and I have to say, I really appreciate your desire to push out of those boundaries and to challenge yourself. I mean, that's where the revelation of process comes in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a great album name. The Revolution of Process.
It might be a bit too pretentious for me, but I'll write it down anyways.
That requires a black turtleneck and
Yeah. I've always wanted to have an album cover where I'm like wearing a suit, holding like a falcon or a crow on my arm. That might be a good album name for that one.
Oh, I just pulled a muscle laughing. That's beautiful. Yes. Well, that's the thing. I mean, you can't take yourself too seriously. Like,
no, you gotta lean into the self-satire a little bit. I think once you take yourself too seriously, you open yourself up for much more criticism. You become much less likable.
Absolutely. There are some artists out there who I won't name names, that they're so incredibly absurd and so they buy their own hype so much that, I sit there and I'm like, do any of your friends tell you the truth?
Like Morrissey.
I wasn't going to go there, but possibly, yeah. I actually got asked on the weekend if I like the Smiths. And I said, yes, I like the Smiths. And I was asked, well, what do you think about Morrissey? And I'm like, I don't.
No, I think many people are in the same boat as you. He's a very unlikable, like a lot of people dislike him because he's not a very likable person. But I can credit him as one of the great British lyricists of all time. You got to give credit where credit's due, but I think many people have voiced their opinions on him.
Yeah, like, I am the first person to go dance to Frankly Mr. Shankly.
Yeah.
I love it, but he drives me crazy.
Yeah. No, yeah, Johnny Marr all the way.
Like, throw on a Smiths track. I mean, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about his guitar riffs. I'm like, yes, here we go. Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a period of time where YouTube was trying to convince me that I like Morrissey, and they would just throw a video of his on no matter what I was watching. I could be watching wrestling, and YouTube would say, hey, Liz, you want to watch some Morrissey? And I'd be like, hey, YouTube, I do not.
After wrestling?
Yeah. I'm like, what in my musical choices or choices on YouTube has led you to believe that is what I want to watch?
Yeah.
I
mean, he's got some good stuff in the solo career, but it's not as consistent as the Smiths for sure.
No. Bucket list band to play with, who would you want to sing like front for?
If I could front for any band, OMD.
Ooh.
OMD. I know all the songs, so I went to see. I've got a leather jacket with the cover of their album, 4th album, Dazzle Ships.
Oh, cool.
Painted on the back, which is a Peter Seville design who did all like the Joy Division, New Order, Factory Records stuff. and I held it up. I was at their show a couple months ago at what's Drake's new venue? I completely forget the name now.
Anybody out there want to tell us? Because I don't remember.
Yeah, but it was Drake's new venue out in the East End, and I held that jacket up, and it was during the encore. I held that jacket up, and Andy McCluskey points to me, and he's like, there's this young guy in the front. He's got the coolest Dazzle Ships jacket, so this song's for him. And they played Electricity, and I got Electricity dedicated to me at that show, which was amazing. But yeah, if I could, if God forbid Andy McCluskey were to, I don't know, like choke on a Jaffa cake or something and pass away, and they needed someone urgently for their tour, I would be there. And I can dance like him too, so.
Oh, nice. Well, I mean, truthfully, hopefully that does not ever happen. But
yeah, I hope not. Yeah, and I hope it would be really suspicious if that did happen and this was out there. But,
I know who I'd be looking at.
Yeah. But
now,
I'm ready. I'd be there.
Now, when someone goes to your show live, what can they expect to see you do?
I'm a very visceral performer, and I've always used my music as a means of just letting myself go and expelling emotions from my body that I don't need. And that's what I do live is a very sort of physical representation of that. And I've always been of the mind that when you perform live, there are certain things that work in studio recordings, and there are certain things that work much better live than they would in a studio recording. So I have, like, I perform with a backing band with live drums, which aren't on every single one of my songs. Actually, no live drums at all on my EP, but I perform with live drums because it just adds so much to the presence of a band, and with a bassist and guitarist. And I try, and I just lose my shit on stage. And genuinely, like, I don't think about what I'm doing. I just feel it. And the live experience is going to be slightly different than the studio recordings, but that's how it's intended to be. And I've made I've played 3 shows so far, so and they've all gone relatively well. The second one questionably so, but I love playing live, and I'm excited to do it more in the future. Yeah.
Do you have any thus far? Do you have any what do you call it? Real time, I guess, war stories, like where maybe something went sideways and you kind of recovered on stage, or something happened that you just can't make up?
Well, our second show we played at Sneaky D's, and it was a show. Only the headliner got a sound check. We didn't even get to do anything before the set. We got like a line check before our set, which was incredibly nerve-wracking. Only to go up, we performed to backing tracks. So the like most of the synthesizers are in backing tracks, and we have like the drummer listen to the backing tracks and play along. And we went up only to realize that we could not hear any of the backing tracks on stage.
No.
So it was we struggled through it. But also I did a few too many shots before, I think, and like about 10 seconds in the first song, I tripped over the drum kits. So it was a bit of a and I think like we recovered and we did the best we could, but it was kind of one to forget. And the one after that went incredibly well. So just shows that sometimes it's not up to you how things go.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, once upon a time when I was dancing in burlesque, I actually my legs gave out from the adrenaline and I fell into the keyboardist and guitarist of our live band and nearly took them out
Yeah.
twice. I made the joke when I first got up that I'd had too much to drink and then I did it again.
Yeah, well,
You know?
I'm sure that'll happen to me someday. I'm gonna take someone in the band out someday by accident. I've almost done it.
Well, when in doubt, just go full Iggy Pop, lay on the stage and just thrash about and just go for it.
Oh yeah, I
You
gotta
know?
love Iggy Pop.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a
Wanna get
perfect example of an amazing visceral performer. I've heard something that I absolutely love that I heard about recording. I think it was a Stooges track. Is they instead of just having him in a vocal booth singing the microphone, they put him in the room with a microphone in his hand, and they recorded his entire vocal take for the track while he was just like running around the room and dancing and lying on the floor. And it gives the song that live feel,
Oh yeah.
which you really need with Iggy Pop.
You need that kind of energy, like, because for all the sound booths that I've been in, they're usually really small, covered in cedar and
Yeah,
soundproof, and you can only like throw yourself against the wall so much to get that energy. But running around like that is so smart. I actually want
yeah.
to continue to talk about that in 30 seconds. I'm going to pay some bills, we'll pay some commercials, and then we'll run around screaming.
Join me, Rochelle Squidworks of Squidworks Media, every Thursday on Twitch, starting at 4:30 p.m. till 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time for live art, eclectic music, fun facts, visits from my many pets, shenanigans, and more. Also every last Friday of the month for Paintin' and Drinkin' with Rochelle Squidworks, where you tip me, I drink tequila, get drunk, and paint Nick Caged cats, while my good buddy DJ Mark Grimace spins a killer DJ set. For more multimedia art, check out squidworks.com and follow on social media at Squidworks Media. You can also follow me on YouTube for past recordings and playlists. Don't forget to subscribe and like. See you in the channel.
Hey, spooky friends!
I'm Dr. Mysterion.
I'm Catherine the Great.
Come join us on our new podcast, Hey, Spooky Friends!
Available on Spotify and Anchor.
All things paranormal, spooky,
Weird.
and somewhat bothersome.
That's you.
I think that's me. So we'll see you and you'll hear us
Yeah, both.
on our new podcast. See you then.
Hey everyone! Planet Lizzdom now has a Patreon. Your help will allow Liz to make the show even bigger, cover costs, and help bring on celebrity guests. Go to patreon.com/Planet Lizzdom and pledge now.
Now, jumping into the recording studio for your album, Heartache is an Empty Room, I want to talk about the process of recording and how that looked for you.
Right. Yeah. So actually, the way that EP came into fruition was a little bit. We didn't necessarily go into it looking to record something to release. We, as in me and Jay Marrow, who's produces all the stuff that I do. I record at his apartment. He's in a band called Twin Rains. And he was
Oh, there's the Wi-Fi. Sorry, I'll get you to repeat that. We lost you at Twin Rains.
Oh, he's in a band called Twin Rains. He was my guitar teacher when I was a child. Like, I think maybe I was like 10 years old when he was teaching me how to play guitar.
Okay.
And he moved off to Vancouver, came back, we got back in touch, and I wanted to learn how to produce my own music and make it sound better. And so we went into that thinking that they would be like sort of like production lessons. And then we started making the songs, and we were both like, okay, these are actually really good. Maybe we should do something with these. So we put an EP together and put it out, and that's how that EP happened. It was sort of a series of experiments that turned into a complete product.
Now I have to ask, because I'm very thrilled by it, and I think it's the coolest thing ever. What made you choose to do it on cassette?
It was just the cheapest way to distribute my music physically, and the coolest. Like I could have done CDs too, and I know CDs are coming back, but not many people are. A CD isn't as cool as a cassette. It was fun to have like the packaging design come together. My girlfriend Isabel did all the packaging design, the graphic design. She's Haunted Yacht Club on Instagram. She does like really great collage art and concert photography, and she did all the design for it. And I don't know, I just think I love.
I forgot to add a T. I want to put that up here. So Haunted Yacht Club. That's where all her graphics are. And I see that the Wi-Fi is still pausing on you.
Are we good?
Yeah, I think we're okay now. I think it's a little bit choppy.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? It's streaming online. It goes from good to not good.
Where'd you lose me there?
You had started to talk about your girlfriend doing graphic design with Haunted Yacht Club, and then I put that up on Instagram, so we'll put that up again where you can find her. She did the album art there, and here is a photo of what is on the album art. And we're losing you a little bit. There you go. Hello.
There we go. Okay, I switched to my data. I think the Wi-Fi is going down again, but we should be good now. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah. So yeah, my girlfriend Isabel, Haunted Yacht Club on Instagram, did all the design for that, which is spectacular. Mm-hmm. And I think for the era that cassettes harken back to, I think it was a perfect choice to put that music on that format. I just really wanted, like, if I could have pressed records, I would have, if I could have, if I could have pressed an album, I would have, but holy shit, is it expensive to get vinyl made. So
it is.
Save that for the next release, maybe. Yeah.
Well, I gotta say, I had the best experience buying your tape because we came home, I set up my tape player, and I go to put your cassette in, and it's halfway played already. So I had to rewind it to start. I was like, yes! It's like getting a mixtape from your best friend, and your best friend forgot to rewind it.
That's great. That's funny. Yeah, I don't even know why that would be. That's really funny.
Oh, it was awesome. And it's funny, when I made the 2 TikTok videos this morning, Mysterion didn't know what I was doing. So you can hear the oven door in the background because he's making breakfast. And I'm like, oh, we're going a little industrial now. Okay.
Nice.
We added some Einstein to Neubauten there.
Definitely some more industrial influences and the stuff that I've been making recently. So
amazing. I want to play that second TikTok that I made today because I want everyone to get a little more of a taste of what your sound is, because we've been talking about it so much, but I want everyone to hear. And I love how Theo Vandenhoff in abbreviation is TV. So here's TV too.
Yes, I did notice that.
There's a horrible sight outside your window. A silent procession through the unknown. Comes insignificant.
That's just so good. This album really made me reminded me of when I was a teenager and I didn't have cable, I didn't have internet, nothing. I would have to like lay in my room, all maudlin, listening to music, hand on forehead, you know, thinking of what my life could possibly be because I wanted to get out of my one horse town sort of thing. Like there's a really beautiful angst there.
Yeah, I did. I wrote it in a place where I was in an intense longing for finding a purpose, as anyone is in like a transitional state in their lives. I I wrote it like I had just gone to college for 3 months and dropped out of college, and I had no idea what I wanted to do. All I really wanted to do was music, and definitely a lot of the songs revolve around that theme, and that song that you just played is very, very much about that. Yeah, it's the heartache is an empty room, is heartache is and aching for something is an empty room. It feels like it feels like an empty room, but for some reason it still feels like the eyes of the world are on you, and if you don't do anything, you're gonna let everybody down, you know.
Absolutely. There was definitely this sense of hollow pressure. You know,
Mhm.
if that makes any sense, because even when you're in a room and it is empty, because you're in that space, there is there's the pressure of matter. You know,
Mhm.
because all of a sudden you're in a spot that didn't have you before, and there's this need to do just more than exist.
Yeah.
You know, and I know that's like so deep, but that's really kind of the impression that I got and the feeling that I got from it. You know, because
Yeah.
yeah, your music is incredibly intelligent, and I think that's what I really love about it. There is from a music theory standpoint, there is a progression to it. That the time changes are really appropriate, at least to the mood that you're creating. That would be the music nerd in me really enjoying it. You know, all the boxes were getting checked off when I listened. You know.
Oh, lovely. Thank you. I don't understand much from a music theory perspective. I just do what I think sounds good. But
As you should, you know, I mean, it doesn't always have to be so technical or so, purposeful. Like
mhm.
not everybody sets out to do a 5/4 time signature. You know, something that's just the way it works, you know.
Oh yeah. I have been writing something in a 5/4 time signature, so
Have you now? Oh goodness.
it is funny that you brought it up.
Actually, fun fact, every May 5th, sorry, every May 4th, I will walk up to buskers and say, "May the 4th be with you."
Oh, nice. Yeah, I was born one day after May 25th, which was the anniversary of Star Wars. And if I was born a day earlier, I was born May 26th. If I was born May 25th, I would have been named Obi,
Oh wow.
because my mom was a massive Star Wars fan and my dad did not want me to be named Obi. So, but my due date was the 25th. So they made an agreement that if I was born on the 25th, I would be named Obi. And I
Wow.
was born at 3:14 a.m. on the 26th. So I was just 3 hours away from being Obi Vandenhoff, I guess.
I love it. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
but I'm glad I'm Theo. I don't know if I would have wanted to carry that name with me.
That's a lot of pressure there too, you know. I mean, your parents would constantly be like, "May the force be with you," you know.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Now,
it would get annoying as hell eventually.
probably, you know, I
Yeah.
think Theo is a good fit. Mars Roberge, who used to is a DJ from Toronto, he's got a really great question here that I want to ask you. He says, "Really cool, nice songs. Is there a scene in Toronto for this cold wave style of music? Is there a camaraderie between bands like Traders, one club everyone goes to and performs at DJs at first local bands? Is there a leader for it that let's give this music a home in Toronto. Also, the record store, is it where Club Shanghai used to be? I'm pretty sure Sonic Boom is in the same building that Club Shanghai used to be, or it may be next door. I have to double check that, Mars.
I'm not sure. I think Club Shanghai would have been before my time. I'm quite young. I just turned 22, so I wasn't in the club scene quite yet.
You know,
But
you were probably conceived in Club Shanghai at that point, you know.
yeah, probably, yeah.
Mars, I'll look into that for you. I'll double check the next time I'm down in that area. I think Club Shanghai and Sonic Boom are neighbors, but not in the same building.
Hmm.
But how is, you know, how is the music scene right now for, I mean, because I'm a little out of touch with the synthwave music scene right now.
You know, I'm very new to it, and I'm grateful in that many people within the music scene here have taken me in with open arms, and I'm very grateful for the people that released that EP at the label that released that EP is Safe Sounds. That's Will and Dez, who have many of projects of their own. They're playing tonight at the Cameron House, and I think less. I don't know so much if the scene in Toronto is linked by genre. Like a lot of the people that I know and associate with within the scene don't really make music that's similar to me at all. Like Will sort of makes freaky like acid techno. Dez is in like a neo psychedelic rock band. I've got my dad's my dad's in a band now, a new band called Hope is Immersed. They're doing like a sort of kraut rock kind of shoegaze sound, and I've been talking a lot with Jay from Crywank, who you know. And that's like emo folk, you know, like a lot of the people that I've made connections with, less on like a networking level and more on a personal level within the music scene, don't necessarily make the same genre of music as me. But I think I really love that, and I'd rather have that than something where it's where there are people who are willing to go to many different kinds of shows rather than have a really cliquey scene where like certain people go to this part of the scene that's the cold wave goth kids, and these people only go to the psych rock shows and hang out with those bands. And I think that one of the great things about the Toronto scene is it spans so many genres, but all these bands of different genres all know each other. It's a massive city, but in everybody knows each other within that scene, which is a good and a bad thing.
Well, listen, tell me about this show coming up here with Komodo and Super Genius on the 30th of June.
Yeah, that's so June 30th, we're doing a single release show. I'm doing a single release show with my band at the Horseshoe, which is potentially my favorite Toronto venue. So I'm very, very excited. And that's I have a single coming out on June 24th, and this is actually my first time publicly announcing that. I haven't started promoting it. I haven't started promoting it as of yet. But it's called Alles ist besser. It's in German.
Oh wow!
And it is coming out on April 24th, June 24th, with a music video, and I'm very excited for that show. It's going to be our longest set yet. We're gonna do a cover or two of some classics to fill the time. And I think some people will be pretty enthused at what they are. We might put a little Kraftwerk cover in there.
Oh, we'll nice.
But and there will be other new songs that a lot of people haven't heard yet. So if you want to hear the new one and some other new ones before they come out, and get a chance to see us live, that would be a great one to come to. It's our first headliner show in Toronto, so I'm really excited.
Well, listen, I just want to make sure everybody knows it's going to be Thursday, June 30th at the Horseshoe. With ever since the pandemic has hit and we've had live shows, I'm just going to work on the audio exactly. How do folks get their tickets for the Horseshoe? Do they just show up? Should they buy tickets in advance?
You can get tickets in advance. In the Facebook event, there's a link there to get tickets. I'll be announcing it soon, and I'll put the link in my Instagram bio. And then you can also get tickets at the door if they're not sold out in advance, which I don't know. We'll see. The Horseshoe is a big venue. I doubt it. I'll sell it out. I'm not gonna lie to myself, but you'll probably be able to get tickets at the door on the day as well if you choose to show up.
Awesome. Well, we always hope to sold out shows. Whatever promotion you're doing on Facebook, let me know so that I can share it as well. I will tomorrow, guys. I'll post links to everything that Theo Vandenhoff is doing. Once more, I just want to direct everybody to Phonic Records to pick up your cassette. I know you were saying earlier that you were sold out, but I think you have more coming in, correct?
Yeah, I'm bringing some more cassettes back in. Initially when I did the run of them, it made sense for me to do 100. It's now about a year since I put the EP out, and I have almost completely sold out of them. So definitely get one as soon as you can before they're gone. I don't really plan on making any more in the foreseeable future.
Okay.
So once they're sold out, they're pretty much sold out. And
hot ticket collector's items.
Who knows? Hopefully someday you'll be able to sell that on Discogs for maybe $100 when you get tired of it. Make some pay your rent.
Oh, I'm not parting with that tape cassette. I'll do other things to pay the rent. I'm not going to let that out of my hands. You know what, Theo? On that note, our audio is really crapping out on us. I'm so sorry. I don't know what's happening. But I want to thank you so much for being on the show tonight. You're amazing, guys. I'm going to plug his show because you're just one of my new favorite artists. I'm blown away from the moment I heard your music, and I can't wait to hear what comes next. So keep you posted when you release.
I really appreciate that, Liz. Thank you for having me on. It's been great. Thank you.
My pleasure. I look forward to pestering you at Sonic Boom.
Well, yeah, I'll see you soon then.
You got it. I'll see you at your show.
Bye.
Bye, Theo. Oh, guys, what a great interview that was. Despite all the technical difficulties and interruptions, I am so excited by what Theo Vandenhoff is coming up with. A couple of things going on. Let me pull up my fancy teleprompter here. Starting next week, we are going to be restarting the Something Strange series as we get to know our performers and vendors leading up to the Something Strange event at Revival on July 3rd. I'm always encouraging everybody to get their tickets from Eventbrite for both things. The Oddities Market and the show in the evening are two separate things, but both as equally exciting. So we're going to start to get to know our vendors and artists leading up to that. You can also check out previous episodes of Planet Lizzdom on Carney Show on YouTube. So definitely check out what Jeff with the G out in New York City is up to. And of course, be my patron. Go to patreon.com/Planet Lizzdom. Your monthly pledge helps me to pay my streaming bills and all the other things that go into making this show what it is for you guys. I'm also now on TikTok. I just hit 1,000 followers last week. So please come follow me if you haven't already, because I'm really, really into making you guys laugh and introducing you to new and exciting things every day. So come follow me. In the meantime, guys, I want to wish you a very safe and happy weekend. Say that 5 times fast. And you know what? Just go out, live life, and enjoy everything as it is, because you know what? You just never know who's going to land right here on Planet Lizzdom. So have a great weekend, everybody. I'll see you soon.